Welcome to the High Performance PT Academy podcast. I am your host, Tony Pang, and guys, today we have another one of the PTs in the Academy to talk about his story. He is a gym owner, and watching Ben grow over the last couple of months has been phenomenal. And one of the main things that I've noticed massively is his confidence, the exuberance, the energy, the enthusiasm, and this is stuff that we're pretty much going to chat about today. So Ben, how are we?
Very good.
Good. So give us a wee bit of background, Ben. We like to find out, everyone's got their own story to tell. What was the main reason that you became a PT in the first place?
So probably like a lot of guys, was very, very active when I was younger. Mm-hmm. Played football at a decent level, then I boxed, and I never really kind of had any kind of motivation to go to uni or to, I don't know, get some sort of academic career.
Yeah.
I sat down with my dad at the time, and when I left school, and he was like, right, what do you want to do? And I actually was kind of like, I'll go be a joiner. But
Okay.
It was in the middle of the recession, and the next best thing was to go into something to do with sports. Okay. So ideally it was be kind of sports coach.
Okay.
So I went to college, done that. And then as I was still boxing at the time, the coach asked me to help out with one of the fitness classes.
Okay.
And from there, guys were kind of coming up to me and saying like, oh, do you do any sort of like one-to-one stuff? And I was like, nah, I'm just like helping out. So that kind of gave me the idea that I would maybe be good as a PT.
Okay.
And probably 7-8 years later, here we are.
So you kind of fell into it.
100% fell into it. Never for one day when I was in school or even in college in my late teens did I think, oh, I'll be a personal trainer. It was just when I helped out with the fitness classes, and the same way I see my clients, I could see guys coming in who were carrying some weight,
Yep.
low in confidence,
Yep.
and after a few weeks of exercising, you could just see the difference in them.
Yeah, they felt a lot better.
And then because I was quite a big part of it, and they were coming to me saying, oh, do you do anything on your own? That kind of gave me an idea that, okay, well, maybe PT might be a good option.
So you liked playing football, you liked boxing. Were you going to the gym at that point yourself?
Never. Hadn't even touched a
Right,
weight,
okay.
honestly.
Okay, so you were just helping out with the classes with the boxing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was helping out. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I was training boxing and still playing football. I was doing more boxing, so I was in good shape.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like overweight or lacking definition. You know, fitness levels were amazing, so I did have shape, but I just had no interest at that point in going to the gym. Okay. I didn't actually touch the weight until I passed my level 3, believe it or not.
Right, okay. That's a completely different start to where we hear most PTs. So what made you, was it just the love for being able to help people then that made you want to go into PT, or?
Yeah, so when I was at college, that was very much working with kids, because I think a big route was to go into uni and like be a PE teacher. So it was working with kids, which is fine, but I just had more of a kind of motivation to work with adults. I just didn't really fancy going down the sports coach route for kids, or the PE teacher. I mean, I wasn't the best lover at college. I passed it fine, but I just didn't fancy going to uni. So the PT course became available, and I was lucky enough that I got it funded for me. And so I did that, and that was 6 weeks. And just kind of went on from there. And then that's when I started getting into
the gym,
like the gym and stuff, because when I was doing the PT course, I was obviously probably the smallest guy there.
Right, okay.
And, you know, like we started doing exercising and we're like, right, we're going to do the bench press. And I'm like, what's the bench press?
Right, okay.
Obviously I know how to do it now, but so I didn't really pick it up until then. It was purely just a motivation for helping people with their fitness. And because I could see that I would probably be quite good at it, that was just the route that I thought was best to go down.
So when you first got qualified, did you go straight into working in a commercial gym, or where did you go from that point?
So I didn't go straight to working at a commercial gym. I was working, managed to get a job in the local council gym.
Right, okay.
So I was doing like fitness classes, and then just being like a kind of gym instructor. And, and then obviously during that time, I kind of got more into the gym because I was spending time there. So, got a bit more into weights and stuff. And then I started to see a bit of a difference. I was picking up kind of small amounts of clients here and there.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything major. I don't think I actually took my first full-time PT role until about 2 or 3 years since I was qualified.
Right, okay. So it was just mainly classes based and helping people out here or there?
I think it was classes. I think once I got qualified, again, I was really young. Like, I think I was like 21, 22. And I didn't actually really have the confidence just to go and be a self-employed PT at Pure Gym. Because of like what the courses do. They might be different now, but I qualified back in 2014 and I had no idea how to get a client.
Yeah.
And I actually went for an interview at Pure Gym in Paisley, and the guy was just like, yeah, so you do 16 hours unpaid and then you're on the floor. Yeah. I was just like, no way. Like, there was no help in how to get clients. So it wasn't until about 2017, a job came up from a company and they had a full-scale system on how to go from no clients to a full book full book system, and you had a mentor as well, and that's when the PT actually kind of happened for me.
Even for myself, when I done my PT qualification, that was 16 years ago now. Jesus, that was a long time. They never really taught you much about nutrition. It was kind of just eat good quality food. Never really taught me much about how to put a training plan together. Never really taught me much about supplementation. There was a lot of biomechanics. There was a lot of movements, muscles, tendons, ligaments, joints. There wasn't too much about marketing, how to actually get clients, how to run your business. There wasn't much there, and this was a lot of the things that I had to then self-taught or learn after I was actually qualified. When you're in the real life situation of I'm in a gym, I need clients, I need to make this work, I need to have a business. And that's where, for me, even in my first year as a PT, I reached out to help for one of the other PTs that was the busiest PT in that gym. And I said, look, I need help getting clients. Like, what do I do? And I've done that my full career over the last probably 15 years of what do I not know and who can I reach out to that knows more than me?
Yeah.
Because if I can learn from people that have 5, 10, 15 years more experience, more knowledge, I'm going to fast track my business and my results 10 times quicker. And that's probably what's seen the biggest growth in my development over being a personal trainer in the last 15 years. I remember I was only charging 15 to 20 pounds an hour in 2007, which was ridiculous. And all the way up to my highest point, which was like 125 to 150 pounds an hour. And then I even took my business online in 2010 from after when I got my first online coach, and I felt like this is something I could do myself. It was now looking at you guys to be like, what from based on my journey is how can we help you guys evolve to that stage yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you reached out for help, you got that mentorship and that course, and that kind of helped solidify. You got your diary full at that point, or?
Yeah. So I got the diary full. So I did have a bit of a mentor, but it's a good point you brought up there, because as soon as I qualified, there was nothing like after the qualification. Like there was no kind of mention of mentoring or how to get clients. It was just a basic course on a tiny bit of nutrition, biomechanics. And I think a lot of guys who left the course, I think probably there was 12 people in my course, and I think there's only three of us that are still doing it.
The statistic is, I think there's only, what is it? Most PTs will fail within the first 2 years.
Yeah, so I've kind of like stuck at it. So when I worked with YPT, your personal training, they helped me get a full diary. But even again, the mentor guy I wasn't paying for it, the company supplied, so he had tons and tons and tons. Okay. So we only got a small amount of time with him, and the mentoring wasn't really that great. It was just a case of, right, we'll go and talk to so many people and such and such. So that kind of got me a foolish diary, but I still wasn't at a point where I was getting the results.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I was just trying to think, right, okay, how can I make this session so good that they come back? So what I was actually doing was just thinking of something different to do
Okay.
each time.
Okay.
It wasn't probably until I had like my first mentor that I invested in, then they were like, no, you need to get better results. Like your results just aren't good enough.
Yep.
And that's when I was like, right, okay. And I invested more in nutrition, I invested more in programming. And once I'd done that and take myself to the next level, that's when I was no longer even reaching out for clients. Clients were coming to me.
Yep.
Not in the scale they are now, but that was still a game changer. And that's when I was like, no matter how long I remain a personal trainer, I will always have a mentor, because there's always someone that's where you want to be, and someone to hold you accountable to what you're currently doing.
So what's the difference so you've qualified, you knew you needed help, you got your first mentor, that helped you get to a certain level, you got your second mentor, that helped you get to another level. What was the sticking point for you then as to why you reached out to us in the PT Academy?
So I think I had different mentors, but they all kind of helped out with different things.
Okay.
So one guy was purely like results focused. Another guy was more business. I'd seen a lot of the high performance PT like on my Facebook, and the one thing I seen was it kind of, well, when I heard you on Facebook, you just really, everything you were saying related to me at that point. Like I was just burnt out. I wasn't living a life. I was earning good money, but I was like, I can't keep doing this. I knew I needed to change in terms of get more time back for myself. And start living a life.
It's quite a common theme with a lot of PTs that the first thing you want to do is fill your diary. You do that, but then you've got no time.
100%. I think it was when I was working in my second commercial gym. I was at a point I was doing 55 to 60 sessions a week, and I just thought I was a boss.
Yeah, because you were the busiest PT, you were making good money.
Like I think there was two or three other PTs in that gym, and I think to this day all the staff still think I was a really arrogant, rude guy because I just never talked to them. But it was like I didn't have time. I was in there from like 8 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night every single day. And don't get me wrong, my bank balance was amazing, but like my girlfriend at the time was like, you're just knackered. Like I remember going on a holiday, and you know I hadn't even trained for it. I wasn't even looking forward to it. I didn't even look forward to it till I sat in the plane, because I just stopped thinking about work. So I think coming to high performance PT, they just seemed to have a package of everything that I was looking for. At that point. But one of the main things I think I wanted still, and it will always be my goal, is to get my clients better results. Because I think there's so many mentors out there at the moment that promise you the world in terms of I can get you to 0 to 60 clients in 12 weeks, which is fine, but personal trainers should be focused on getting our clients the best results, because if you get your clients the best results, then you'll always have a business.
You'll never struggle to get clients, because ultimately clients will want to come to you.
Exactly. And I feel like that's the one thing that I've done over the last 3 years is constantly improve my clients' results. And it's not always just about before and after. It's just about how I see that client from when they come into the consultation to how they look at the end of the 6, 12, 16-week program. You know, like I've got one client now, a guy called Billy, who we spoke about in our last call. He came to me, and you know he had a really, really high-end job. I think he was the chief executive for Glasgow City Council, so he had a high-pressure job, and you know he was just in a bad way. You know, he had put on so much weight, he had lost all his confidence, and you know now the guy is just like, he's a new man. Do you know what I mean? He has, you know, he just looks 10 years younger. You know, he's going for a better job now. He's got another kid in the way, and he's probably loving life more than what I am, to be honest. But to me, that's what makes my job worthwhile, because to me, that is changing people's lives.
The whole client fulfillment, there's no price on it, and what you can do for somebody is life-changing.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people think it's, you know, it's just a case of getting people into their boxers or, sports bra, and it's just all about the before and after. And to be honest, that's just one part of it.
Yeah.
If I could change people's lives without having to put up before and afters, I would do it. But I'll always put up before and afters because it's proof. But the biggest thing for me is at a point now where I do change people's lives.
And I think it's just the fact that for everybody, the first thing that's going to motivate and inspire others, we're all going to be visually stimulated. So the first thing we see is what's going to draw us in. And that's obviously why before and afters have that biggest impact, because it gets people to stop and be like, wow. If we can then showcase the other part of the story on the journey that your client's been through, where they were before and where they are now, and how much they've changed, not only physically, but also mentally, that's the full transformation.
And you know what? That is the full transformation. It's not just about the physical or seeing the abs. It's about seeing that person happy.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It's about seeing that person saying, like, I'm sleeping better, I'm happier, I'm stressed, I'm getting on my wife better,
Yep.
I'm able to play with my kids and not feel knackered. To me, that's what a result's all about.
Yeah.
That's a real result for people.
So obviously from you coming on board, we were looking at teaching you a bit more about nutrition, teaching you a bit more about training, teaching you a bit more about supplementation. What impact has that had on your service and your results now?
So it's been massive because the one thing I have had a bit of knowledge about nutrition,
Yep.
but the knowledge that I have now is massive, and it's actually improved my confidence because, like, if you want, I won't go into detail about calorie counting, but it doesn't matter what stage a client is at, unless they have a health issue, I'm confident in what I need to do. Do you know what I mean? So if a client's stagnating, then as long as I've got the data from the check-in sheets and in MyFitnessPal, and this is what I say to everyone that comes on board, like, I promise you I can get you the result as long as you just comply. Because there will be a point, I think this is where a lot of what I used to experience before was when clients would stagnate and then the results would just not be happening, so then they would leave.
Yeah.
But it was purely just because I didn't have the confidence then to know how to take them. I knew I could maybe try and get them to train harder, or I could cut their food. But now I'm in a much better place because I've got the data, I've got the check-in sheets.
Yeah.
So I look at the sleep, the stress, digestion, steps, programming, calories.
Yeah.
As long as I've got it all, then I can always make a decision.
Yes.
And the client can. It's just creating roadmap after roadmap of where a client is to where they want to be.
And that's obviously that statement you said is like, I guarantee I can get you results. That is a strong statement from somebody that knows what they're doing.
And that's it. And it's not just because I'm a big head or I'm saying I'm better than everybody else. I'm not at all. But it's just because I've done it so many times before now that, and I've taken myself to that place as well, and I've gotten myself lean, and I cannot understand. Well, I do understand what needs to be done.
Yep.
So again, as long as the client doesn't have some sort of health issue, then I always know how to take them to the next level.
And I think that's probably the biggest thing that would affect someone's confidence. If you're doing everything that you know how to, and the client isn't making progress, and you don't know what to do next, the next default is the client's going to leave.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the things that I used to struggle with, and it used to kind of put me off PT. That used to always think, oh no, this client's not losing weight, or the client stops turning up for sessions, so then you start worrying, they're going to leave. Whereas now you're just like, well, even if the client's not complying, then I'm in a much more confident frame of mind that I can just sit them down and just have a basic chat as to, like, really cool, what's going on, how come you're not doing this, and the amount of times I have open, honest chats with clients that have even lasted like 30 to 40 minutes within the session that they're paying for, is the difference that it makes, like, for the next 8-12 weeks to them is just massive.
Huge.
Because I think the one thing that I always feel that with my clients is, like, I always try and say to them is I do care.
Yep.
I actually, if you're investing in me and you're putting, because the way I see it, because there is like a lot of PTs right now, and there's a lot of choice. So if someone is putting their confidence in me, then do you know what I mean? I do have a care, and I want to make sure they get the results. So if they start cancelling or not turning up or not handing me a check-in sheet, then I'll just sit them down and just say, look, is everything okay? Do you know what I mean? How come I'm not doing this? And a lot of the time, 90% of the time, you'll get honest answers. And it's just like, right, reset. and you just go, you move on.
So would you have done that before?
Never. Absolutely never. I would have just kind of sat there like, oh no, they're gonna stop, and then I need to find someone else, and and it just makes your personal training career so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And that's the thing now is, I mean, don't get me wrong, like there's still days I'm like, everybody has that. Do you know what I mean? But at the age of 28, like I have got a career that I'm really, really happy about, and I feel confident enough that the next stage that I want to go to, I can do it.
Yeah, and we had a great conversation that we always say that the confidence that you have coming into this, your service, what you're able to do for people, we know that it's life-changing. We know what we can do. And that value for us, I would say, is probably going to be priceless. And yet, when it comes to a lot of PTs, what's the biggest sticking point for most PTs? Price.
Yep, 100%. And that's the thing.
Every PT that I know wants to charge less.
So again, when I was in the industry, it was a case of, right, I'll just keep it cheap because then people will
come to you.
Will come to me. And even until maybe 3-4 years ago, I was still keeping my prices really cheap because I in my own way, I mean, don't get me wrong, I knew I would make a difference to someone, right? So that was always there, but I never ever had the confidence just to say, right, okay, well, this, you're not paying for sessions.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And that's a big problem. It's like, when people say how much charge per hour, it's like, I don't have an hourly rate.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
If you have a goal, then this is what it takes, and then this is the price.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? But now I have the social proof. Do you know what I mean? That's been built up, especially over the past 6-7 months since I've been a high performance PT.
Yep.
I've got the social proof that I can take you there. So it takes away that nervousness, because you believe in your product. You believe in your product so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I would really like it if PT courses nowadays would maybe link up with guys like yourself and say, right, trying to come to some sort of agreement that, help PTs go on another path.
Yep.
And even show them like these podcasts of like where I was and where other people were, and like this is what you can do next once you qualify. Because if I did this when I qualified, it would have saved me about 4 or 5 years of stress, heartache. The amount of times I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I'm just going to be a fireman, or I'm going to go just be an engineer. And if this was available to me back then, it would have saved me like.
This wasn't necessarily available to me when I was first starting out, and that's why I just asked the PT who was the busiest. I just asked him. I said, "Can you help me get clients? Like, what should I be doing?" And I asked openly. I paid for it. I said, "Look, I'll pay you whatever you need because I need to learn about it." And exactly what you said there. The lifespan of the average PTs is 2 years, because in the first 2 years you think, right, I'm taking this love, I'm taking this passion, I like training, I want to help people. Then you're charging cheap, then you're doing crazy hours, then you're not getting results and you're not enjoying it, and there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of uncertainty, and 1 month you've got clients, the next month half of them drops out, and it's a whirlwind of events that it's like, maybe it's just easier if I've got a job that has a salary and it gives me security, and it's Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and I'm safe.
Definitely, and I feel like that's a massive thing that I've managed to move away from, because there was so many years where I was like, I'm just going to go for security. I'm just going to go for security. And, even the odd time I'm like, I don't know if I can be bothered this anymore. But that's like very, very rare. But now I would say like PT has gave me, I mean, I do work hard, but like it has gave me like a good life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's moved me away from the world of wanting 9 to 5 and a salary and having a boss, and it just gives you freedom. And that's the thing. It's like, if I want to go on holiday, or if I need to take a day off, or, I'm just in the middle of buying like my first house, and, you can have nice things.
Yeah.
But it's the risk and the investment that you put in to get there.
Yeah, and that's been the biggest change. I mean, you did go away on holiday for your birthday.
Yep.
And you went away to watch football. So you got to, the biggest thing you'd said there was freedom. A lot of people want to do these things, but don't. because they don't have the luxury or the opportunity. They need to PT. They rely on the clients. If I don't show up, if I lose clients, if I go on holiday, will clients still be there when I come back? And it's just, there's a lot of doubt and there's a lot of uncertainty.
I think it is, but I think it just comes down to experience in terms of being able to have an open, honest conversation with clients. It's right, this is what I'm going away. Do you know what I mean? And you're human and you do need holidays.
Yep.
And it's down, and I think that's kind of where it's down to the clients to have a little bit of responsibility to like make sure that they do the things. I mean, I'm not just going to leave and text you, say I'll see you next week.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Because if I've got clients in the middle of a quite a tight program, do you know what I mean? I will put things in place.
Yep.
I'll create a home workout. I'll create a cardio workout.
Yep.
Just as long as it will tip them over, but I need them to be able to take some responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, they can't. I think sometimes you feel like a bit like a dad in terms of like, if you're not here, then I can't do it. So,
but you've got things set up now. You've got things in place. You're holding your clients accountable to those actions. Yes, there's times that you're there, but even when you're not there, they're still accountable to do the work.
Exactly. And I'm never going to be the PT that is going to take two weeks here and then 4 weeks later, two weeks here.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? But you need to kind of open, honest conversation with clients that, right, I'm going away, but this is your goal and this is all you have to do for the week away. And usually when you do that, and again, it just comes down to open, honest conversations. The one thing I would say to any PT is, if you have good communication with a client, if you have good, honest communication, then you'll always be fine. All right? Whereas if you don't communicate, do you know what I mean? If you just leave them in limbo, then most of the time they're just going to go back to old habits.
To old ways. If clients aren't doing what they said they were going to do and they're not getting results and not pulling clients up, they're going to leave.
Yeah, they are going to leave. But yeah, definitely, like PT has now gave me, but the stage I'm at now with my PT has gave me a life where I don't feel bad for going away and I can have more freedom, and it does give me opportunities to invest in like the likes of yourself and invest in other things, like if I want to open up another gym, and then if I want to take on staff, whatever next level I want to go to, I'm able to do it now.
So obviously at the stage you're at now, you've got your own place.
So I've got my own studio. So during the pandemic, where I was living before, I was just, after the first lockdown, I pulled some equipment from the gym I was in.
Yep.
Clients living nearby, I was doing sessions, and they kind of said to me, they were like, "Oh, do you know what? I really like coming here. I really just like the kind of private environment, feeling."
Yep.
So that just kind of gave me an idea. I was like, right, do you know what? I'm just going to go and open up my own place.
Yep.
So I looked about, found a unit, and yeah, 16, 17 months later, it's went fantastic. I've now got my own branding. I've got my own website. And I've probably put myself just in a bit more of a pedestal.
Yep.
In terms of like personal trainer, because I've got to myself at a stage that I can give people privacy.
Yep.
And especially for people who, and it does exist, you know, people who do have a lot of anxiety, like going to a gym.
Yep.
It's good to be able to offer the private feeling.
Yep.
But I think now what I would like to do, because I have got a bit of online, but I think the biggest thing for me would be, the biggest goal of mine now would be to get a bigger one, and then to be able to coach other PTs the same way that I have done, and build their businesses within that, purely because I have the confidence now of how to help them get the results that I did.
Yeah, and I think that's been key there, is that being able to, we always talk about whether you've got PTs in the academy that just want to become the best PT ever. We've got PTs that want to take the transition from PT to online. We've got PTs that want to then go on to open up their own gym. So it's not just about online. It's not just about PT. It's not just about owning your own gym. It's about running the business that's going to give you the lifestyle that ultimately you want going forward.
100%. And I feel like there's a big problem now in terms of, I mean, online is brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Online is brilliant because if you can explain to the client the program, that, because the way I see it online is it can just be the same as face-to-face. The program is pretty much the same. It's just you don't have me.
Yep.
So when someone kind of is on board and they're like, right, okay, that actually makes sense.
Yep.
Then it can go that way. But I feel like there's just so many PTs there's too many mentors now that are just sucking people in with online promises, and you can be in the Maldives with a cocktail, working from your laptop after you've been qualified for 3 months and only had one face-to-face client. And I listen to like Mark Cole's talk all the time about online, because obviously he sees that a lot with PTs. And I think PTs have to realise that you have to get the social proof before the results before you then make this transition to online, because building online I think can be tougher.
I think that you need two things. You need, one, practice what you preach. You need to be that main billboard for your brand and your business. I feel like that's where, when I became a PT and had 0 clients, only because of how I looked and because I was in magazines, I was sponsored, I was this, I was that. When I went in the gym, it was automatically that attraction. Well, I want to look the way you look. I need your help. You must know what you're doing. And so we know lots of PTs that just because they're in shape, they get loads of clients. Now, whether they can back that up, where they can get themselves in shape, can they get their clients in shape? There's sometimes a bit of a disconnect there. But we know that if you can showcase that you can do it yourself, it's half the battle. If you can then showcase your business can replicate that, not just with yourself, but for others, online is almost a window of opportunity, because they get to see you live that life, and they also get to see your ability to do that with others as well.
Yeah, definitely. But for me, I love a bit of online. I do have online clients. I don't know why. I just, at this moment in time, I always feel my motivation is still that face-to-face and interaction. And it took me a while, because I have done a few online courses. I think this is my 3rd one now. Like I've done Jay Alderton's one, and I've done OFB, and you get clients, but I just never really feel like I have the same drive. But if someone comes to me and wants it and they're on board, then 100% I'll be able to serve them and get the results. But I just feel like for me, I always just have that more motivation, just seeing the client in the flesh. Maybe it might change in a couple of years, but
no, I think that everybody, this is not about trying to be, you need to do the job that you love. And there's so many PTs that we have in the academy, including yourself, that love that one-to-one aspect. So we then want to take that and be the absolute best that you can be at that, with getting your clients results, with your price point, with your packages and your services. And that ultimately puts you at another level from everyone else.
Yeah, definitely. It always comes down to the results. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like results is the biggest thing. There's so many PTs nowadays, and which is brilliant, because there's so many people that need help. I just feel like it's always going to be results that's going to help you get the clients. And I feel like if PTs could just focus on, right, rather than me spending my day focus on getting 10 clients, I'm going to focus on, I don't know, how can I get the 10 clients I've currently got better results? And obviously, don't get me wrong, you need clients for the business. But if you've already got clients and they're giving you a living, then it's like, right, why don't I focus on getting them better results? And like you say, showcase their roadmap. Talk to the same audience. Relate to them, and then that will bring in the kind of clients that you want. No, we
always say that. I guess we spoke about this earlier, that people focus a lot on marketing, trying to sell themselves and their service, when if they spend as much time on their actual clients and their results, that would be a massive voice in their business in itself. So with where you were to where you're at now, where do you see, obviously you spoke about trying to get a bigger place going forward, maybe helping other PTs as well. Where do you see over the next couple of months or even years for your future? Like, how's that roadmap going to evolve for you?
I think there's a couple of ways. I have sometimes kind of dwindled with the fact of maybe just keeping the studio and giving online like a right good go. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like I probably haven't dedicated like loads and loads of time to it. But I feel like probably, like, I have already started viewing next places. I think the next stage would be probably getting
bigger premises.
A bigger premises, and maybe having a gym that clients could come in and use in their own time as well. So that's a different kind of service that you can offer. Maybe get to the point where I can bring in another person to help me out.
Yep.
Help them
Start
grow.
building a team.
Building a bit of a team, and yeah, just getting to the point now that it's not just me in the business. You know, starting to get a better team that it can grow. I feel like I'm 28 now, so I feel like by the time I'm 30, that's probably the stage.
You're at the stage ready to evolve and grow.
Yeah, 100%, but purely now because, I mean, I said I would do it for the last year or so, but since I came into the high performance PT, I feel like I have a lot more confidence. Like, 'cause we're talking about ads, but I feel like the way I'm talking to my audience now online, I feel like the way I'm showcasing my results, it's just went tenfold. But again, it just always comes down to confidence.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? I just feel like the confidence that I have now just makes my career and my passion and my drive and my goals just so much different.
Yeah, when you first came on board and I said to you, Ben, we do need to showcase a bit more of you online and just revamp that social. And you're like, look, I don't really want to do it or don't like doing it, but I'll do it if it's something that we need to do. And we did obviously explain with your marketing and people buying into you as a person, as a coach, your results, as that was going to take you and your business to that another level, which it has, like tenfold now, which we can see in the business. So for other PTs or other coaches that are potentially in your same shoes, or your younger self, like what type of advice or what would you say to these guys? Because you've in the amount of time in the last 8 years, I feel like you've done quite a lot.
Yep.
So there's a lot there that you can probably feed back to. And obviously in the last, how long you been in the High Performance PT Academy now?
So around June, so it's probably about 8 months now.
So in the last 8 months, obviously we've grew even tenfolds again. What bit of advice would you give the guys in your shoes?
I think the advice would be to probably, like we've both said, is to look at someone who is currently in the position that you want to be, and just always have some sort of mentor. Again, you can probably do it yourself for a bit. I just feel like mentoring is probably the biggest thing that's taken me to where I was to where I am. So if you could, I mean, it doesn't have to be the high performance PT. It could be someone else. But again, just someone who's currently where you want to be, or you know, they're living the dream that you are, or they're living the life that you want to be too. Then that's what I would do. I would go and seek their advice for help, because again, it will probably cost more money or a bit more investment. But you know what? The money is so much more worth the time wasted or the heartache that it will take to do it.
Yeah, I look at over the last 15 years of my life career, and I probably would say in that time I've had probably about 13 coaches in the last 15 years, and I've accelerated my knowledge tenfold. And that's something that I look back on. If I never reached out to somebody who had more experience, who had more knowledge, more education, that was able to teach me more than what I knew right now, then I wouldn't be in the position that I am in now. And if I knew what I knew now 15 years ago, it wouldn't have taken me 15 years to get here.
Yeah, definitely. And I didn't get my first mentor probably until 3-4 years until I was qualified. Mm-hmm. And you know, I think the high performance PT is probably my 5th or 6th mentorship I've had. It's definitely the best, by the way. But it's each time I've done it, it's just taking my business to the next level. And each time I do it, I always think, you know, you always get that, oh my god, it is a bit of investment, and you always get that bit of you feel a bit edgy. But do you know what? As soon as you do it, and then as soon as you start the work, and as soon as you start seeing the difference, like you forget about it in a second. And that's what I'll say. Like even one of my old mentors, Chris Mason, he was the same. He's been in the industry for about 20 years now, and he always says that there's always someone who is where he wants to be, and he'll always have a mentor, and you'll always keep learning. And I think if you keep doing that, then you'll always keep going to the next level. Yeah,
100%. I think that being open to reach out and ask for help, I think a lot of people feel that's like vulnerability, but at the same time, you're never going to be further ahead in life without reaching out and asking for help. And if you really want to accelerate your knowledge and basically your results in a faster time, you want to learn from people that are where you want to be. 100%.
Definitely. And that's why I always come back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I wish that, PT courses like my one. I done it through Premier, and I know there's other ones, but I wish these guys would work with guys like you, and offer PTs coming out another route or the next level and the next stage is to, right, you finish your course, this is what Tony can do for you, and it will save you fucking years of heartbreak. And I feel like if PT courses could do that, I think we would have a lot better and a lot longer lasting PTs in the industry.
And I think that's ultimately probably the number one reason why we came up with the High Performance PT Academy, was just trying to bridge that gap and be like, look, this did take me 15 years to build the business I've got today. The standard of personal training and the amount of PTs that drop out the industry in the short term is quite high to what it should be. There is a lot of people in the population that need help, and there is a lot of personal trainers, but with that turnover, there's a lot of people coming into the industry, there's a lot of people falling out, and we just decided, how can we bridge the gap to give these guys more knowledge, educate them, teach them how to not only build a business, get clients, get those clients results, and be able to actually have a life. You know what I mean?
And I think that's the biggest thing. It's what you said at the end. It's actually just having a life. It's not just about the grind and the bank balance. It's just about actually having the freedom and being your own boss and be able to. I think one of my mentors, when I went on a call with him, the first thing he asked me was, like, are you happy? Like, are you enjoying it? Yep. And at the time I said no. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's be able to just enjoy it, be happy and have a good career. Yep. And in that turn, your clients will have a good career as well. Because if you're looking after yourself, because like we said earlier, doing 60 sessions a week, not paying attention to nutrition, not paying attention to your training, you're burnt out. What's the difference between you and your client?
Yep.
And that's what I feel like, if PTs could have that, if they could bridge the gap and just show PTs, guys like me who were burnt out, who went through a lot of heartache, went through a lot of stress, a course like this can just bridge that gap and take it away from you.
Excellent, Ben. So, guys, hopefully there was a lot of golden wee nuggets in there that you guys can take on board. Make sure that you do like, share, and subscribe with anybody that needs to hear this. And Ben, where can people find you if they want to get to know you a bit more?
So you've got Facebook, Benn Hamilton Fitness, Instagram, and benhamiltonfitness.com. So you've got a good website there, Instagram, Facebook, so plenty of options if you want to get a hold.
Awesome, guys. So look forward to catching up with you on the next podcast and YouTube channel, and we'll speak to you soon.